You know, I've only ever gone viral on Instagram one time, and it was a sound that wasn't even mine. And I made a reel with it, and basically, well, let me show you the reel.
I am convinced that buying craft supplies and then actually using them are two different hobbies.
And it isn't lost on me that the only thing I've ever had go viral has to do with overconsumption. So let's talk about it. Because, back in my day, people used to go insane for Target dollar spot merchandise. Let's talk about it. I am going to talk about this subject in a semi-lighthearted way, but I do just want to say I'm not proud of this collection that I'm about to show off, okay? There is a level of overconsumption in the air that comes through when I show you all my acquisitions from the Target dollar spot, but just know I'm not the same girl I used to be, okay? So let me set the scene. It's like 2015, 2016, and the cute planner stationery landscape is pretty minimal. The only time you are really seeing cute Postits show up is in subscription boxes like the planner societies. You might find some cute-ish stationery items at like Office Max or Office Depot or whatever those staples, but it's probably like Martha Stewart brand, and so it's probably pretty, but it's not like cute or fun or really colorful. And so Target sees an opening, and they start producing a whole bunch of really cute, cheaply made stationery items in their dollar spot line. Now, I couldn't tell you if they still have these in their dollar spot because I've been boycotting them since they rolled back all their DEI initiatives. But what I can tell you is at the time, it was the hottest thing. You would walk into Target, you would grab your basket, and you would go straight for that dollar spot. And what you were looking for was the golden goose, the cutest stationery things you could find, especially if they were things that people were looking for. And you would snatch them all up. Maybe not. Maybe you'd buy one or two. Maybe you'd only buy one. Maybe you wouldn't even buy one. But some people were snatching them all up, and they were running to Facebook groups and they were reselling them. Or they were going on to their Etsy and they were reselling them, or eBay or Mercari, or I actually don't know if Mercari was around back then, but they were reselling them. There was an insane resale value to the Target dollar spot stationery. And what's crazy about this is the stationery, for the record, not good. Decidedly made by somebody that doesn't even really like stationery. Like, has no care for paper quality or adhesive. Okay? This is not a one-off. I mean it honestly and truly, every single one of their Post-its. Just the worst. Like, real bad. And I don't even know what we were collecting them all for. If I'm being honest, like, I think my main prerogative for having as many as I do was that I liked using them as like photo props when I was doing my highly staged Instagram photography. You know the moment in time I'm talking about, where everyone was the master of the flat lay, and you have to have your white balance so bright and everything just had to be perfect and crisp, and you had to have so many different things in your photos. Look at it. This is awful. You had to have all these different things in your photos to make them interesting so that people will comment them, and that's how you'd gain popularity, right? Or in my case, that's how you'd sell your inserts, right? Because the photo would perform well. Instagram would show it to more people would see my products, thusly more people buy my stuff, right? But these dollar spot Post-its, they're really bad. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how much I believe the person who created these and who ordered the stock for these never wrote anything cute in their life. That's the first pile. That's the square pile. I also have, they were really into this shape, which is not quite a square. It's, it's rectangular. They did a series that were like rounded edges. That was really popular for a while. So just to give you an idea, And we're going to keep sticking, by the way. You know what? I'll do a better job of showing you the actual Post-its. Because to be honest, they are quite cute. Like, they have some good designers on their team. Like, they know what's trending at the time. Like, when they're doing leopard print, everyone is loving leopard print. When they're doing, like, this font, this came out right around the Ray Dunn of it all. And then they had some that were just, like, you know, basic. But they really loved this rounded shape. And apparently I did too, because I have so many of them. And what's sad is that you see me flipping through them all here today. Obviously, they never got used. Like, how many notes, how many Post-its can you really consume in a lifetime? Especially when they're not good Post-its. Like, you can't even count on this Post-it to be there when you get back. Like, that's not helpful to anyone. Whose planner is getting, like, the top has that, like, adhesive gunk that's left behind from the one before it. So, like, your pen would skip when you would try and write on it. Like, they were really, really, really bad. And you would think, me knowing how bad they were, I would have stopped buying them at some point. But guys, we're not even done. We're not even done, because I haven't even shown you the page flags or the full length notepads, because they also did grocery list notepads. They had, like, all these, like, just junk. They had junk for us to buy. And damn it, I bought it all. I really did. And I will tell you, I am so much more intentional with my spending now. Like, one, on how are you affecting our politics level. I'm being very conscious with my money that way. But I'm also just more intentional with what supplies I buy. Like, I'm not, if tomorrow Post-its became the thing again, I wouldn't go buy more. This is not the thing that lights up my fire. You know, right now everyone is really into blind boxes. That's not my thing. I'm not going to go buy them. I'm being really intentional with what I spend my money on, because, guys, I don't have that much of it to be spending, right? Okay, that's the rounded rectangular ones, but let's also get into the page flags, because if you thought these were hot, page flags were even hotter. So these were sold in either 4-packs or 5-packs. And I swear to God, they're just as bad as the Post-its. Like, these are not quality. This came out in the later round. You were getting more options, but less. Like, look how thin of a stack that is. You are not getting a ton of Post-its on the thing. And look, ready? What is this? It looks like the party horns. Happy birthday. Like, you don't want to stick that in your planner. I don't even want to stick it on my body. But I bought them. You know, I did buy them. And let's call it out. Let's really call it out, because I really couldn't be stopped. And I used to work right next to a Target, and I would go on my lunch break, like, at least once a week to see what they had. And if they, that came from TPS. That's a small business. We're okay with that. But if they had something new, I bought it. And I didn't need it, obviously. So all that to say, trends come and go, and you really don't see people freaking out about page flags anymore. In fact, I don't even see people really going gaga for, like, Post-it notes anymore. Like, unless there's something revolutionary happening to the Post-its, like, there's just not that much of it going around. Also, people don't do those highly staged photos anymore. So I don't know what use you could have for all these things that are pretty but not functional. And I feel like that's a lot of the stuff that I have collected that I regret the most, is stuff that is pretty but not functional. At the end of the day, I really love my stuff to have some function. I think the whole reason why I got into planning is for the function of it all. And yes, I do love some cute stuff. Don't get me wrong. I do love some cute stuff. And I make and produce Post-its myself. I've run out of them now, but for a while you could get some Post-it brand LPA Post-its. And I also really got into their card game. So they would also do, like, these really cute sets of cards with, like, cute little envelopes. And see, this is where I really get annoyed with myself, because it's like, there's so many people in your life who would appreciate some snail mail. Why are you just sitting on all these cards? For what? For what? so someone else couldn't get them from the dollar spot. I mean, a little bit of the shopping really did feel that way. It was like you were buying it so that it, like, you got it before it ran out. It's not really my favorite time when I think back on like all the things that we've lived through, but at the same time, it was a time to be alive. Like, people really were going out of their way. They were making special trips to the market, and gosh, Target just blew all that, huh? Target really blew that by rolling back their DEI. So I personally hope that they are not selling any of this cutie stationery stuff, because I'd much rather buy it from a small business and support someone that actually gives a crap about their stuff versus a corporation that could care less. Sad but true. I did not intend for this to go into like an anti-capitalist rant, but here we are. It's 2025. Anything could happen. I hope you have enjoyed this walk down memory lane. If you were someone that shopped the dollar spot, go ahead and sound off in the comments. Let these other people know that I am telling the truth, that it really was the wild, wild west of the dollar spot, and people really were gobbling this stuff up as much as I was. Like, I look a little crazy. I know I do. I look a little hoarderish, but I wasn't the only one. Okay, and that doesn't make it better, but somehow in my brain it does. So anyways, that's it for your back in the day this week. If you liked this, make sure that you subscribe and share it with a friend that you think would also find it funny. Someone that perhaps you used to go snag dollar spot items for. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Stay light, stay bright. Oh, since the beginning of last year, but have I? You can't even count on this Post-it to be there. I just held it upside down. Like, what was that other really trendy? Ray Dunn. I'm also just in the effort to be really transparent. It's really like that's fucking embarrassing. That didn't run out, you know, so that it's not that they're not cute, but why am I putting these away? Where's my donate bin?